Hello and welcome back to World Talks on TVP World with me, Ashim Kumar. Poland's Minister for EU Affairs has said that security of Europe will be the motto of the Polish presidency at the Council of the EU, which begins from the start of next year. The Polish presidency comes at a time of great uncertainty: the war in Ukraine, Donald Trump's impending presidency, and Germany and France's political turmoil. How much influence will Poland have in driving forward this agenda? Well, to explore this question, we're joined by Magdalena Baran, Editor-in-Chief of Liberte. Magdalena, welcome back to TVP World. Thank you for taking the time.
Good morning. Hello.
Good morning. Right, so let's start with that question. I mean, all that's going on around the world and in Europe, of course. Poland's position as President of the Council of the EU, how influential do you think it can be?
Oh well, I will start from this part, but from different side. You remind us the slogan of a Polish presidency, so security for Europe. But for me, it sounds, in Polish, it sounds bezpieczeństwo Europy, and this bezpieczeństwo Europy is like the old slogan by James Carville during the campaign of Bill Clinton in the 90s. But then the slogan, famous one, was the economy is stupid, and it sounds a bit similar, and the time is also similar, because those days the US was going through the deep economical crisis, and this crisis was the main part of the main topic of the political campaign. So right now our main crisis is security, and this is internal and external security of the EU. And Poland decided to work on those 7 pillars of security. So internal security, external security, security of health, of energy, of food, economics, and so on.
Yeah.
And when we think about especially those external, internal relations, here things connected with war and with whatever happens outside Europe is really crucial. Of course, also in the other sectors, the situation, the external situation has an impact on it. So when we think starting from, maybe starting from US, since we were already there, starting from US, we hear Donald Trump saying, yeah, I'm going to leave NATO. Of course, it's not as simple as it sounds, because thanks to Tim Kaine and Marco Rubio, in fact, so both senators, first from the Democrat from Virginia, and second those days the Republican from Florida, and really soon he will be a Secretary of State, as we know.
Yep.
He cannot leave. It's not a presidential personal decision of the president, but
Right.
he needs a Congress or Senate to do
Right.
it.
Right.
But we already heard about some economical issues that he's going to have with Europe. He said they doesn't buy our cars, they doesn't buy our food, so we need to have an impact. And Poland, in fact, one of the main external relations that was indicated by Adam Szłapka, so the Minister of European Affairs, was relation with the EU and build a new relation with the US. Especially since we'll have the new president.
Right, so let's focus on one of these. Economics, of course, is one of the pillars that you mentioned. And as we know, Donald Trump has talked about tariffs on imports into US from Europe. So can Poland, in its role as president, mobilize some kind of European response to avoid those tariffs, negotiate them down, prevent them from happening altogether?
Definitely Poland will try, because this is exactly the rule of the presidency. So you have those sectors, because we must remember one thing, and maybe it is important also to our listeners and viewers, that the Council of the EU is something different than the European Council. And the Council of the EU is a gathering of all the ministries from different sectors, different pillars of our economy, industry, culture, so on, so on. So definitely the EU ministers of economy will work on it. But we need to develop the new European policies. Since also we have the new European Commission, so we must be open for new challenges.
Right, so new priorities and so on. Yeah, so turmoil within the EU as well. Now, he also talks about internal and external security. And one of the things, of course, that Poland has done is to suspend asylum applications from Syria. What's behind that?
In fact, it's not only the Polish idea right now after the fall down of the Bashar al-Assad regime in Syria, because we heard already voices from Germany, from France, from Spain, from Italy, from Austria, that they are going to change their migration policy, and they will stop not to they are going to stop the applications, and Austria, we even heard from Austrian Minister of Foreign Affairs that they are planning to send some people back to Syria to review the previous applications even. Of course, we also know that there are hundreds or thousands of Syrians who already said, yeah, we would like to go back to Syria, especially from the countries, from the neighboring countries of Syria. And the suspension is has also another phase, because we accept applications from people that, according to the international law, escape from the danger when their life or they is exposed to danger. When the situation has changed, there is no danger from Bashar al-Assad and his regime to many people, but we can expect, since Hayat Tahrir al-Sham is in fact rooted in ISIS and in Islamic
and is one
State.
Of the parties that has taken over the country.
Now Jawlani right now is a chief of this government, and he's here on the list of terrorists, I mean the American and the UK list, and there is $10 million for his head. So still, and his organization is still on the list of terroristic organizations right now. So we can expect that the country will turn into rather religious regime, especially since Bashar al-Assad wasn't a religious one, it was rather a secular state, because of his religion and the religion of the whole clan. Right.
Now, so clearly many European countries see asylum applications as a threat to internal security, but there is the other side of the coin, which is sending Syrians back to Syria, and there's some questions on that. Predominantly, is Syria a safe place for Syrian refugees to return to? Do you think Poland is in a position, or will be in a position, to influence the EU on that question?
Definitely Poland will try to have an impact, and I'm pretty sure that the Commission, the Council will work also with Commissioner is Markus Brunner, so the Commissioner, Austrian Commissioner responsible for migration policy. And we can be sure, and it is a part of this internal policy of Polish presidency to work on the new migration strategy, the one that we already had at least a draft in Poland. And from what we heard yesterday during the gathering of the Polish government, they are going to discuss about it next week. And to develop the strategy, and also to offer part of the strategy to the EU, and we can trust that it will be a really important part, connected also with the understanding of hybrid war, and also with the security of the information.
Right, so lots of moving parts there, and an exciting beginning to 2025. Magdalena Baran, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Us. That's all from this episode of World Talks. Don't go away, lots more coming up. Goodbye.